Hello, and welcome to the 5th episode of Getting Your Class to Behave with me, Sue Cowley. And in today's episode, we're going to be thinking about the idea of being positive. You are doing great, as I say in the book. Now, there are times as a teacher when it's very hard to feel positive. It's a stressful job. It's hard work. There are lots of demands on you all the time, whether that's around behaviour, whether that's about supporting learning. And dealing with a class of, say, 30 young people can be really difficult. And it can lead you to start getting into a negative frame of mind. So what's really useful, because by being positive, you're going to encourage your learners to be positive. So what's really useful is to think of yourself as a teacher as a character. So when you go into the classroom, you're going to put on your teacher character. And I put on my Miss Cowley, you will put on whatever your name is. And by doing that, you can come across as the teacher version of you. Now, there will be times when you turn up for work full of cold, not feeling great, having had a very stressful time in your personal life. But what you can't do is take that out on your learners. You can certainly, if you're working with older learners, appeal to them for some sympathy. And what teachers will often say actually is that where they've lost their voice and they have a very sore throat, when they say that to the class, often the kids are the best behaved they've ever been. But you can't do that all the time. So what you essentially have to do is you have to pretend. Because the thing about positivity is where you are positive and enthusiastic and engaged with the learners, they will feed off that energy and they will return it to you. And even when you're faced with really challenging situations, if you remain calm and positive, that should feed into better outcomes as well. And I give some examples in the book of how you might remain positive, even if it's feeling difficult. So, greeting your class with a positive expectation. Good afternoon, it's great to see you. Going to do some really good learning today. Yeah, even if in your head you're thinking, my word, this is the most boring part of the curriculum in the world, you need to make it sound like it's going to be really exciting. It's about expecting the best from your class rather than anticipating the worst. So where you are given some challenging behaviours, before you move in to deal with those, spot the positives first. Give some of that energy you have, if you have any left, to those learners who are doing the right thing. Saying something like, that's great, you're sitting beautifully, you're ready to start. I can see you're ready to learn today. And only then worry about dealing with the negatives. And use do rather than don't. We can get into a bit of a habit of saying, don't run, don't shout, don't call out. But what do we actually want the learners to do? We want them to use your walking feet. We want them to put your hand up if you have an answer. And so by framing it as a do rather than as a don't, you will help them feel positive about being with you. I talk in the book about treading very, very carefully with sarcasm and avoiding it completely with younger children. It can, a little bit of playful sarcasm, a little bit of playful to and fro with older learners can just about go okay. But essentially, sarcasm is often for the person saying the thing sarcastically. And we don't need to do that because we're professionals and we are better able to manage our behaviour than that. And then I talk about a ratio of around 5-1 in terms of positive reinforcement to any spotting of the negative. And that's a really useful one to hang on to. Now, in the book, I give a couple of examples, which I'll just share with you now, about the difference between a negative and a positive approach. So here's the negative one. Come on, hurry up. Why are you being so slow? Come on, we've got loads to get through today. We'll never get everything done if you're this slow. What's wrong with you? Why are you making so much noise? And, if you think back to your own childhood, you will probably have had some teachers who did nag you like that. And then here's the positive version of exactly the same moment in your lesson with me putting on my best You're doing great impression. Right, if you can all come in as quickly as possible, I've got some exciting things for you to do today. We need to get started straight away so we can get through them all. That's an excellent level of noise, well done. But now let's see if you can be any quieter. And so often when I'm working with teachers, when I'm training them, I'll encourage them to reflect on how they felt about the way I communicated to them. And they'll often say things like, you were really enthusiastic, you were engaging. But those things arise out of that sense of positivity, that you're happy to be there, that you're keen to help them learn, and that you actually really like them. I'm Sue Cowley. This was Getting Your Class to Behave. I hope you can join me for the next episode. Bye-bye.